everyone, it's Coach Vicki, and welcome to another episode of Optimal Life Balance with Coach Vicki, where you take charge of your life, both personally and business, and learn to have fun along the journey. Today, we're going to go over what I have exciting a workshop coming up, and I want to just kind of give you a little bit about what it is and see if something maybe interests you. First of all, the workshop's called UBU, and it's the 3 simple steps to find balance, purpose, and take charge of your life. And when we do that, we realize, and this is for personal and in business, is to learn to be the person in the driving seat, be the one who's narrating where you're going with that GPS, and not let other people dictate where you go and where you've been. And the first part of learning any of that type of stuff that we're going to go over is you got to kind of work on your mindset. And that's the first part that we're going to kind of work with a little bit in there is who are you? What is your why? What are your limited beliefs that have been holding you back from pursuing that business, that career, that next step, that next chapter, whatever it may be in your life that you want to do? But what has been holding you back? A limited belief, because some people don't know what the term actually means. It's that negative thought or that negative channels that keep repeating to yourself, that record player that keeps going over and over and over from what you've been grown up and believed. So what we're going to do in this workshop is we're going to go through a few different exercises on how to bring those limited beliefs to the surface, recognize what they are, and then put them in their place. Because once we put them in the place and we know where we are now, instead of holding on to our past, then we could start working on what the next step is finding the where you want to go and finding that balance and that purpose and the growth that you want to have. We're going to take a live assessment together in the workshop. It's going to take a few minutes. You're going to answer some few basic questions on it. And based on the workshop itself, we're going to see what area of your life of fitness, finance, family, faith, field, friends, and fun, which area you need to work on. Once we determine what area you need to work on, then that's the rest of the workshop is where it's going to be really good, because we're going to see that we're not balanced in every area, and that's okay. But when we figure out what area we're a little off kilt, that's where we want to start focusing on there and learning how and what tools and what systems that we can use to get us to the next step. So we're going to really just kind of like sit there a moment and look at each one of those areas. Once we get our do our assessment and get what the results are, we're going to kind of sit there and go over each one of the different F's and what can be done in each area if that is your area that you need to work on. Because during this workshop, you're going to start creating your action steps, your goals for at least one area. For it. So everybody's going to be doing a different goal and different action step based on your results. So with that, you are going to then go and take that step, and you're going to use that assessment through the rest of the workshop. So when we do our action steps, our SMART goals, everything that we're going to do, we're going to use it on the one area that we want to focus on. So by the end of this workshop, you will have at least one cure goal and its action steps on where to start going, and then the ability to utilize the systems and everything I have to continue with all the different areas and ongoing with your transformation. So like I said, we're going to go work on how to continue this transformation long term so that it's something that you can utilize ongoing. So going back a little bit, what we said, that's what the workshop is going to be all about, and I'd be excited to have you part of it. So when you think of all these different things, what I want you to kind of start doing is realizing that you don't have to be where you are anymore. You have something that God's put in you that's made you special and something you've always wanted to do. If it is on your own business, write a book, start taking up cooking classes, or do a different career. or just be able to stay at home and be a stay at home mom and build a side business, whatever it may be, we want to start getting that ability to dream again. So we're going to kind of work on that too, is how do we dream of those things that we always want to do or we wish to do, but we always put everything else first, or we always think, well, I can't do this because of A, B, C, and D. I'm not worth it. This, I can't afford it, or I don't have the education, whatever it may be. And we need to start really there in realizing you can do it. Yes, it may take work, it may take some time, but you are worth that journey. And the best part, and I want to really get to this support to you, is the best part of it is the journey. On it for me, and my own story of that is I've gone through my transformation of my belief and loving myself through my faith back in 2015, that I used to put myself down and had such negative self thoughts. Do I still have them sometimes? Yes. But do I have them like I used to? Not at all on it. But finding my faith, finding the truth in myself, and finding that I'm worthy of putting the to be loved and to do what I want to do, and not have to listen to what everyone else has always told me or what I've believed to be the truth. It made a big difference. I started my health journey on there and lost a lot of weight on it. I'm back on my health journey because I got off track a little bit, but I've always kept that thoughts with me where I'm worthy of it. And now that I even see what I can do, I know I'm even worthy more of doing it on there. And then I worked on a lot of my mindset, because while I was going through my health journey and while I was going through taking care of my mom and balancing my house, I had to do a lot of shifting. I had to do a lot of soul and heart and mind shifting to realize that I can have fun. I don't have to be humdrum all the time or hold all that pressure on me and not enjoy life. To me, life is too short now. With the passing of my mother a year and a half ago, my aunt about 6 months ago, I realized it's too short. I'm not getting any younger. What do I want to do with the time I have left, with the time that I'm ability physically to be able and mentally to be able to do? To instead of wait until I get older or wait until I retire to do something, what fun can I start doing now? And it's that type of thing. And fun, when we talk about fun, sometimes we think it's got to be this big, expensive vacation. My dream bucket list fun is to go on a Mediterranean cruise. But my small funds, I just had a thing today at church that we gathered together and shared some food and fellowship. We're doing, me and a bunch of girls from church are doing once a month dinner out with the girls, trying new restaurants on there and keep anything else. And I put it in my budget when I do my monthly budget on it to keep me on track with that goal. But the thing is fun could be even just sometimes we're going to kind of start maybe even do some game nights, going over to each other's houses and play some cards and stuff like that, or some board games or whatever it may be, or movie nights, even in-house movie nights. There's a bunch of great things that you can get on television. So, but those are different things you could do with your family, with your girlfriends, with your husband, because if we're not enjoying the journey and enjoying our life, we regret the work we have to put in for this other stuff on there, because it's going to be some work to change the areas, no matter if it's your fitness, your finance, if there's problems with your family or your faith, or you don't have fun and go out with the friends and family. If those areas are down, it's going to take some work and to change it. There's a thing that's out there that it's like, and it's mostly for losing weight, but I find it almost works with anything. It takes 4 weeks before you even notice a change if you started losing weight or you started thinking differently, until you start building that habit of at least 21 days to 30 days. It takes that time before you even start thinking it's possible to change. It takes 8 weeks before somebody else, even of the closer friends, notice that you've lost a little weight, or you're starting to think or act or be a little bit different in a positive way, but be different. It takes a year before everybody really notices that this is the new you. It's not just something you're going through a season, a phase, that it's really works on it. So when you're doing that, you got to think that through. That is why the program at the end of my whole thing in the workshop it's a year-long transformation. And it's something, if you do want to do, you don't have to, but either way, but it's to let you know that it's going to take ongoing work, but it's ongoing steps of success. And the journey, as long as you learn to enjoy the journey, you will. You'll keep going. And we want to make sure we have those small monthly goals and those daily action steps that we could say we succeeded, so that we feel good that we continue to see those goals moving. One of my goals right now is to lose that extra weight that I had put back on. And my goal is to lose a nice amount of weight, but I'm like, okay, I can't say I'm going to lose it all in 2 months. It would be nice, but it's not realistic. So my goal was to lose at least 10 pounds a month over the next few months until I feel I'm at the weight I want to be. And it may take 6 months. It may take longer if I decide I want to go lose some more, or it may take only 3 months if I feel I'm good there. It depends on what I want to do. And that's my personal thing. It's not what somebody else says my ideal weight is. It's where I feel that I want to be on there. So by doing that is like breaking it down to each day. What am I going to do? And the action steps. And we're going to go a lot of this into the workshop on how to really make those smart action steps so that you have success. How do you make those plans? Because you've got this big dream that you're going to break down to goals, and you're going to take those goals and break them down to smaller action steps, so that if you took a minimum of 3 action steps a day towards that dream, you've taken over 1,000 action steps by the end of the year closer to that dream, and you might have even made it on it. And some dreams may take, like you said, 6 months, a year. Some may take a 5-year plan based on what it is, but we're going to break it down to smaller goals in between so that you're moving forward. An example is, if you're going to have to write a business plan, I was trying to do this. If you're going to write a business plan, I put on my action list, write my business plan. I'm like, I'm never getting this done. I then changed it to section A of my business plan. First of all, I first thing is find a format. I find a blank form. Then it was like section A, section B, section C. And I broke it down, and I gave myself realistic time. I'm not going to get it done in a night. So I said, this month, this was my goal, to get this section done. And I'm still working on it, and that's okay. But we're going to go into a lot of that also. But what I want you to kind of just even take away from today is there is systems and tools out there. But when you have a coach, a mentor, or a system to hold you accountable, is when you start to see the long-term changes that become part of you and become a habit. Sometimes we try to say we can do it all on our own. We don't want people to know about it. When we don't have that, put it out there that we're doing something, or we don't have somebody to hold us accountable for, that we have to check in and say, did I do it or didn't do it? We will almost 100% of the time. Maybe that's a little high to say, but I would say most of the time, unless you've got a really good enough why, you will let things get in your way. Not maybe purposely, but just because you have nobody to hold you, saying, like, okay, I got to do this instead of this, or whatever. It's no problem. I'll do it later. I'm not really worth it. It's type of an idea. But if you've got somebody in your corner saying, you are worth it, you can do it, let's figure out where we can climb that time frame in. That is what we want to start working on. So what I want you to just kind of think is, if you think any of this resonates to you or somebody else you may know, I would love you to join my workshop. Come find me on Facebook, come join my group, And there'll be more information about how to sign up for the workshop, all the details, all the bonuses and specials that are going to go on with it. But like I said, I'm going to be doing it live, and I'm going to be doing it periodically. If it works really good, I'm going to probably do it monthly. But right now, we're just going to kick it off and see how everyone enjoys it, and realize that it's only March. We could still do this. We are worth having this 2000 this year being our best year on that. And it doesn't matter if it was even October that you get to see this one, you could still start this. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't have to be in a calendar year, the beginning of a month. It's whenever you decide, I've had enough. I've got that healthy level of disgust. I want something different for my life, and I'm going to take the steps and action that it needs to do. I did that for myself, and I don't regret a bit of it. And I want to help you. That is my mission now. That is my passion that God's put on my heart, is to help others go through that journey that I did, but maybe it's a little easier, letting them feel less stressed, less overwhelmed, and not have to feel like they're doing it on their own. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you very much for joining another episode, and have a blessed and fun day, and hope to see you at our workshop.